Well, good morning or good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Sharon Little. I'm one of the grads of the Musicianship and Leadership Program at Music for People. And my guest today in our series of conversations with the presenters at SummerBreeze MusicFest is Mary Knysh, the artistic and musical director of Music for People. And Mary, hello,
Hi,
good morning. How are you
good
doing?
morning.
Good to
Good to
see
see you.
you.
Very good, thanks.
Yes. Listen, we've got a lot of things happening. I've had conversations with almost all of the presenters, but let's start out with just with an overview of what's available and what is possible and who this is for.
This is really designed for any level of player, and particularly if you're a music educator, this will be of great interest to you because we have a whole track that's designed for educators to really give you a bump start for September with a whole bunch of wonderful new ideas of how to meet your core curricular standards in really fun and unusual ways through the pathway of improvisation.
Awesome.
And there are, gosh, when I looked through the listing, there are so many amazing sessions. There's wonderful vocal sessions. Irene's going to be offering some great, unique sessions. We've got movement sessions. I'm going to be doing Nia movement, which is something that I work with quite a bit over the past decade. And there are sessions if you are a beginner. There's Music Improv 101. So, really, for anyone who says, I'm just starting, I only play the bunt pan, but I like to sing in the shower, this is great for you because it gives
Yeah.
you some really fun and easy, accessible ways to step in the door of improvisation. If you're a professional or seasoned player, this is also great because we have workshops that are going to take a deep dive into music improvisation and what kind of forms you can explore to really enhance your improvisational play.
So I've had conversations actually with all of the session people who are leading the sessions that you've just described.
Yep.
And so those are all available on the pages in all our various groups and should be up on our YouTube channel. I also had a great conversation with Leanne Darling, who's doing songwriting. So she found
Ah,
during,
yes.
yeah, so she found, and she's not a songwriter. So she's taken, this is what's great about Music for People. We have this beautiful, rich resource of a philosophy and approach to making music, very democratic and inclusive and accessible. That's a foundation, and a whole range of activities that can be taken everywhere. And so
So many
Leanne is a
different directions. Right. We said it's like a tree. And so we have the roots of the tree in the music for people philosophy, and it's all based there, and then it grows up in the trunk, and there's all these different ways that you can take the work
yeah,
out into the world. And people are doing so many, our graduates are doing so many amazing things and
such
really
interesting
branching
things.
branching into all kinds of areas. So
Right.
it's great
Making
fun.
from making CDs to making game cards to one of our grads took his piano and stuff out into the street and did a whole
Yes.
session with his student out in the back of the I don't know back of his studio somewhere. He's got this piano he takes with him everywhere and goes
It's
outside.
so much fun. I know.
So the and fun is really a key is
It
really a
is
key thing, particularly well I guess for everybody. I mean I was a teacher, so it was like oh my gosh I can have so much more fun
fun.
and things that I was doing in the classroom that were just weird. As whole turns out, oh my gosh, they're music for people things. Yes, I wish I'd known that.
Yes.
And
Anytime
people
you were having fun was probably along the music for
was doing
people.
that. I know. And for people I know who've come with me to workshops who are absolute beginners and scared to death,
Yes.
their times at MFP, even if they just came once, have
Yep.
stuck in their memory and they have vivid, deep, visceral memories and experience with that. And then those of us who are professional musicians who are trained to play all the right notes on the page to get
Right.
liberated from that.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
liberating.
it
Really.
is so liberating and with all the fear and all that we bring to it. So yeah, we really do. And this, I'm so glad we've got this all covered in this like 1 day extravaganza
Yes.
that you can't
Yeah.
get to all of the things, but we're recording.
Nope.
So yeah, would you talk a bit about the sessions that you are doing?
Sure.
Yeah.
In the morning at 11:30, I'm going to offer a session with Alina Plord, and it is working with unusual rhythms, so world or unusual, sorry, it's
Yeah.
unusual scales,
Yes.
and so ethnic scales, and also medieval modes. And I love this. I've been doing this work with modes. Modes to me are really about moods. And whenever I talk about modes in clinics or at conferences, everybody's eyes glaze over. And I get that,
Yep.
because when you're learning modes, it's like, oh, I have to do
Well, they
this. And
can
on
mix
guitar,
and
it's
lady and
so
oh my
complex,
God.
and jazzers play in modes, and it's like, whew.
Yes.
But we released the intellectual side of modes and really brought it into its beauty and simplicity in what's the simplest way. For me, the journey was, what's the simplest way to get kids and teachers and anyone to understand the mood in a mode.
Yeah.
And so, using the music for people techniques of solo ostinato, I designed a really fun way that I'm going to be sharing.
And you've got something set up. We actually tried to do this live, but between internet connections, we thought this is not good. So we'll
Not
just,
have good luck with
it
it.
was
So we
not
thought just
great.
coming from my
Let's just
studio might be easy.
let's
So I've
leave.
got the Orff instrument, the glockenspiel, right here with me. And what I love about this is the medieval instruments were set up very much in this design, diatonic, without the accidentals or the black keys on the piano. So it's just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right up the scale. Well, if we start on do, and we take 5 steps up, including do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Do, so. Do and so happen to make a beautiful foundation to improvise and have it really land in what that first mode is, C to C, which is Ionian. And so if I create an ostinato, something really simple, short repeating pattern. So I'd be player 1 with just C and G. And I did it on my loop so you can hear it. So here is player 1. And so we all feel the pulse. And player 2 goes, oh, I love that. And they come in with another idea using the same notes. And they link in the 2 parts. So now they're connected, which is the beauty of improvisation. And then a 3rd player in the quartet comes in, and they're playing a recorder. So now we have this blanket of support that's in C and G only. So it's in the Ionian mode. If I start, I say take a musical journey, and start with C and end with C, and notice along the way where your journey is of interest. It's often where the half steps are. Here we go.
And
Wow.
it's okay. Mary froze. I paused. We're good. We got the idea.
Oh, good. Oh, you're on
Okay.
it. All right.
So yeah,
Oh, my heavens. I'm on, let's see, Ethernet, so I don't know what's going
it's
on. So
okay.
I'll pick it
We're,
up from there.
you know what? This is life online these days. Nobody knows. Nobody thinks this is weird.
Okay, so I start on C again and take my journey. So I have a short journey, and then each player would play a journey. I would end up in a simple, and I would add to the mix. Another player would stop and take a journey. Okay,
Awesome.
so that's the first part. So you can feel this mood is light. Ionian is such a beautiful, happy, major scale. It's like, oh, this is great. I like to think of medieval troubadours tromping
Oh
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
voices and joyful music making. So
It's almost like the Pied Piper kind of feeling, right?
it is Pied Piper for me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so now I'm going to just demonstrate, and what we'll do is we're actually going to take a journey through many of the modes
Right.
on Saturday, on June 12th in the workshop. But I wanted to give another example. So here is Dorian. And Dorian is moving just to the D, and then we go up 5, D, F, G, D, E, F, G, A. So now, same idea, same structure, but it's on D and A. So we've moved up 1. And so we're going to take a little journey. Here comes the next player in, still using just D and A, and the third player. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little journey, just playing D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. No sharps, no accidentals, no sharps or flats. And I'm going to start on D, so my journey begins at home and ends at home. Here we go. It has an entirely different mood. And so when I'm working with the kids, I say, what do you think happened to the band of troubadours on their journey as it started to change? And so they have all kinds of different things. Oh, they encountered something that was a little bit problematic, or a storm, or the road changed and went into a dark forest. But again, the Dorian mode has an entirely different mood. Every mode does. And so that's what we'll be exploring.
Awesome. I'm just thinking of that, connecting. I mean, what a great way to stimulate imagination for storytelling.
Isn't
You know,
it?
and going, rather than here's a story, let's put some music to it. Let's
No.
let's
This
start with
begins,
the music.
and that's what we do is we
Yeah,
actually begin the story with the journey, and then they
yeah.
draw pictures and they tell the story. It is so much fun.
It's fantastic. Awesome. Okay,
So, okay, so there we go.
next.
The next one. Got
And
it.
I'm going to say, I love playing with modes, and even just on the piano, just taking, and not even just on the white keys.
So easy.
And the weirdest one, it's starting on E and starting on F and starting on B. Those ones, if you are a pianist, I mean, those are the ones that will just freak you out.
Right?
Yeah, but having that root there, just for anybody, having that bass
Yeah.
1-5
Yeah.
going
The
really
1-5.
gives you that home. Yeah.
And what's
Yep.
beautiful is it lands everything in
Yep.
the simplest of ways. So you don't have to glaze your eyes over. You can access modes in a wonderful storytelling way. So I call them sound stories. So
Awesome.
we'll be exploring that.
Awesome.
At 1:30, I'm going to be sharing, I've studied in a movement form for healing called Nia. And I love Nia because when I started, it really, I could see music for people all over it. Everything we were doing in sound, Nia was doing with the body in movement and stillness, in the same way we talk about sound and silence. So over the years, I started to really explore, wow, what a beautiful metaphor for stepping into movement, that the sound invites us in, and that we bring a musical improvisation alive through this form of movement. So it's deeply, I call it mirroring sound in movement. And it really is exploring active listening. So I'll share my favorite things to do in person as well as virtually. And this works great in the classroom and great for anybody who's facilitating any kind of group, adults, seniors, kids, it doesn't matter. It is a beautiful, powerful connection. And for me, it brings listening, which is the foundation of everything we do. It brings listening into an active mode instead of being seated in a chair and listening where the body is disengaged. It engages the body and engages the mind. And the music, the musicians become alive, more alive, because they see that the listeners are engaged.
Mm.
So there's a constant relationship and a mirror and a connection. So that's what I'll be
Awesome.
sharing in that session. I'm very excited. So
That
you'll get to move and you'll get to play. So
now this is, I mean, just thinking of all the conversations I've had now. I mean, this when I was talking to one of the presenters, I was talking to Timmy. He said, "Yeah, I was looking at the description, looking at all," and he's saying, and this is one of the presenters. He said, "Oh my gosh, this looks fantastic! I've got to get signed up." Oh wait,
I'm
oh
teaching
wait,
it.
I'm going to be there. Do I have to
That is what
register?
happens with us oh so
I know,
often.
I know. It's just, oh my God, it's just this wonderful thing. But
It's
I'm also thinking about, I did a session with Betsy. So Betsy's another one of our forever grads.
yes.
She goes back. She's a part of the OG as well. I think anybody from the late '80s, early '90s is the OG crowd.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
started, and she connects music and art and writing. But we did a music and art piece, and so our video. You've got to go back and. Those who are watching, if you haven't seen it, get some crayons or markers and a piece of paper and do the thing with us. The hydro went out here, so we had to do two parts, but there we go. Okay, so
Great.
the integration is so this MFP seeps into everything.
Everything. It's beautiful. It's quite extraordinary. And so just for a quick demo, if I took an instrument, I'm just looking. Let me grab my gong and um, Sharon, if we were to hear this sound, this is just a great active listening example. The gong tends to have a sustain. So when I play it, I want you just to move
Okay,
and then find stillness when the sound stops. And everybody else who's listening and
do it with
watching,
us.
do it with us. And how does it resonate in the body? Does it go through? Does it sort of center in the heart? And then your movement emanates from there. And you're listening. And you find stillness when there's silence. And then you can mirror and play the opposite. So we listen to the sound and you are in stillness, relaxed, alert, and waiting, what Nia calls raw. And then you move in the stillness. Here we go to respond. So stay still. You take the sound in. So your body is really resonating. Listening, actively listening. As soon as it fades, you begin to move.
And we froze again.
I don't. I'm supposed to have two classes today. I don't know whether it's. What I'm wondering is, should I? And actually, if you don't mind.
and and we're back. We are having. I'm
Wow, it's been a morning, hasn't
It's
it?
been a morning. Mary freezes. She's changed to laptops. It's been quite a morning. We're having so much fun. I'm so glad I could spend this time with you.
Oh, I know. It couldn't be any
So,
better. I don't think so.
we all know that this is their online world. We all have gone through this. We've all, had online things go weird. Next, and in music for people, we just okay,
It's
release.
the beauty of release.
And the beauty of being, what's true now? Where are we right
The
now?
moment. That's
And
right.
so,
What's true now? Where are we?
where
Okay.
are we? And what's the
So
next
while
right
we're
thing?
still together,
Let's do
the
the next thing.
third
Well, let's
thing,
get this.
very quickly, while the stars are aligned for a
Oh my
moment,
God.
very quickly, then the third thing I'll be doing is for anybody who is hoping to be leading groups.
Mm.
It is basic, what we call jump time, and it's just those wonderful drum circle, Arthur Hall inspired cues of starting, stopping, and things that work really well, virtually as well as in person, for leading groups and for facilitating groups. So it is just simple, fun, engaging, and you get to practice. So jump time is that if you come to this session, you'll actually get engaged and involved, and you can be a player, but you also can practice your leading skills. So it's a great time. We love to offer this for educators or anybody, facilitators that are leading groups in any way.
And what's become really with the way Arthur Hall has worked all this, it's the signs and the language
Yes.
has spread. It's been kind of universal because they're
Worldwide.
so clear
Yes.
and so good.
So clear, and they work. And yeah, just how to stop, how to start, keep on playing, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop.
Yeah.
So very easy ways and really fun symbols and ways to lead groups. So this is a practice time. It's called jump time. It's fun, it's engaging, and it's a great place for you to practice your skills.
And one of the great things about jump time and these kind of leadership skills, because I've done these in large groups of 50 or 60 people, I haven't even had to explain, no words.
Nope, no words.
I don't even have to say, now when I do this, you're going to do this. I just put up my hand and I count, and
People get it.
people pick it up and go. And then I
That's
start
beautiful.
again. And these are very clear, and you don't have to talk, because so many times, we can get into explanation mode.
We do. And
Which
the
can
less
just
we
slow
talk,
things.
the more, yes. The
Yeah.
less I noticed that the most when I was traveling internationally in places where they had to translate what I was saying, Japan, China. And I learned how to be incredibly simple.
Yeah.
And you start to choose your words because it's going to take a long time for them to say whatever it is you said. And then by that time, the person has sort of lost the flow of the activity.
Right.
So getting simple, clear, and the least amount of words possible is one of the best ways to teach a class, a music class, and get your kids going.
Anything. Yeah.
And to lead a group.
Right.
So that is what we'll be working on. And
Yeah.
those are my 3 sessions for
Awesome.
June 12th.
Listen, while the technology is still working, while I still have you there,
Yes.
can you talk a bit about the musicianship and leadership program? And because we are bringing new people in, we're coming up into Art of Improvisation (AOI) at the end of July. We hope to be live in October.
Yes.
Which would be something else. And we have more and more people coming in, particularly because we have been able to go online, but also,
True.
there's something about being able to improvise. Something has hit into the consciousness of people that this is really valuable, that this creative
Yes.
self-expression, and people
Yes.
want to do more of it, whether for their own personal development or to lead groups. And we've got this nailed. And we've got we've got it nailed. We've been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
And we've got a beautiful program that is personal growth and musical growth and conducting. So we are always inviting more people in. We've got more than 100 grads right now.
Yes,
We're going to add.
We've got 50 people in the program, in the training program online.
Okay, so talk about the musicianship and the MLP, we call it, the musicianship.
The MLP, Musicianship and Leadership Program. Yeah, we have a program here and also in Europe. And I've been running seed programs in Spain, in Italy, in Denmark. So they're kind of all over the world. But ours right now, this past year, we've made a virtual version. And so we're meeting twice a month. We have an international group. It is fabulous. And a lot of people that came in new to level 1. So we have level 1, level 2, level 3. And we have several people that are graduating again this year at the Art of Improv this summer. They'll be graduating.
And they're presenting. They're some of our presenters.
Correct,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. This is kind of their graduation project.
That's part of their graduation process. So we're really excited, even looking forward to next year when we may be in person again. We will have a virtual component to our program. It's been so successful that we will absolutely keep a virtual component moving forward. So it's been very interesting to see how people are using this virtually as well as now as they start to go back in person, and how educators are able to use so much of the material and the skills and the techniques and the tools in their classroom.
Yeah.
And music therapists, we have people working with corporate groups, we have drum circle facilitators, and we have educators. So we have just across the board people that are working in healthcare and community and in education that are able to use these tools.
And so, can you talk a little bit about the structure of the program and how, if somebody comes in, how do they go forward? Now, in my day, it was 4 years, 4 weekends a year in person.
Yes.
We had to
We've
just,
shifted it a little bit since
yep,
then, since the early days.
yep, yep.
I did the same. We
Hmm.
now, it's a 3-year program with level 1, 2, and 3. And so when you enter in, again, you can join the virtual. This right now, we're still virtual. You would meet with us twice a month and with the group, which is a really fun.
Mm.
And you would go through, we have module 1, module 2, module 3. And the basic focus, module 1 would be melody, 2 is rhythm, and 3 is harmony. And so that's still the same, the modules. And then you would go through the modules and graduate each. What we're doing now is just as we have a level completion certificate. So once you complete level 1, you might say, wow, I can use this to lead groups, small groups, and that's what you're able to do once you're done. And I've really begun to develop my own musicianship and improvisational skills. Level 2, and so you can say, it's good, I'm a level 1, I've completed that level. Or you go on to level 2 and say, wow, I would like to learn more, go more in depth with my own music and musicianship, and learn how to lead larger groups. So level 2 will focus on that, and you could complete level 2, or you can go on and become complete level 3, which is really putting your own program together in, like we talked about, Sharon, in your own way. So you're developing either a performance that is sort of a music for people style performance where you're improvising and you may engage the audience, which is awesome, or you're actually creating a program that you're going to be sharing in a community setting, healthcare, or educational setting.
And so, if somebody wants to do the leadership, there are kind of two tracks. Like there's a leadership,
Yes.
you want to focus on the leader. Could you talk, because some people want, I don't know if I want to lead groups, but I really want to,
Yes.
we have. So, can you talk about the
Yes,
differences?
you're coming in as a musician and you say, wow, I really want to go deep in my musicianship. That's the focus. Then we have a track at level 2. You start to look at the home play. Actually, they're sharing home play in level 2. Level 3 is where the track
Mm,
goes in 2 different directions. And you say, I just really want to put together my performing skills, and I want to put together an improvised performance, and I might want to do a CD. I might want to have a large performance that is the culmination of my level 3 before I graduate. So that's the musicianship track, which is
okay.
one way to go. Or leadership, you say, wow, and you're still performing. And
Right. Yeah.
as in the leadership skill, you are still enhancing your musicianship skills, but you're also really working on developing your facilitation skills. And the funny thing is, even if you go into the musicianship track, the idea of a music for people performer is that you are actually engaging the audience. So you are also using leadership and facilitation skills in whatever you do. So they're very connected, which is why it's an MLP. But depending on which route you might really want to go, that you say, this is truly where my heart lives, we have designed opportunities for you in that level 3 year.
Great. And I know there are people that will do it. Level 1 is year by year by year. They'll be in it for
Yes,
3 years.
yes,
But we've also opened it up so that, life happens,
yes.
and it may take longer to get level 1, and
It's
that is an
all
opening.
good.
That's an opportunity. So whatever way we want to do it, you can get to level 1. So okay, I need to stop now. Life is happening. Whatever. I can come
Yes,
back around and do level 2 at any time. That's always open.
it's always a possibility. Yep.
Awesome. We did it. We got it. Okay, those of you listening, thanks for bearing with us on technology.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh
Thanks,
my
Sharon,
goodness.
for bearing with me. I don't know
Oh,
what's going on
listen,
in my
hey,
house today.
I'm just, I got no attachment to outcome. I booked these times, and we just go with what
You
is.
gotta just go
Just
with the
do with what
flow,
it is.
just like an
And
improv.
and I was just like an improv, because we've
It
done
is.
this. People have an idea. I start out here, and I want to start out here, and I remember Emily's. This is one of our OGs. Emily's that improvisation with the bee.
Yes.
And she started out wanting to do this a beautiful, she's a cellist, and she wanted to do this beautiful ooh energy, and this fly or this bee kept buzzing around. It was, I think it was a fly, could just keep buzzing around, and it wouldn't go away. And so the fly, bee, whatever it was, became part of the improv.
It did. It
it,
was
it
awesome.
was it was miraculous. Rather
Perfect.
than going, oh my God, it's not working, I can't do what you just go with the fly.
Going with the flow, opening
and
up to
and
possibility.
that always happens in our improvs, and
It
it's such a
does.
it's so liberating and so joyful.
It is.
Mary, thank you very, very much for doing
You're
this.
welcome,
And
Karen.
for those of you who are watching and haven't registered yet, I can't imagine you not wanting to. Right now, we have graded scales of tuition so
Yes.
that you can pay the regular tuition, but you can also pay a reduced tuition and someone else will support you. You can also pay a little bit more and help support someone else.
Yeah.
And we also have the an opportunity where you can pay for your tuition and pay for another person's tuition. So we
Yes.
like to make it as accessible as possible. Go to musicforpeople.org. We'll see you June 12th. Mary, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you
We'll see
June
you June
12th.
12th. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.